will look to start Jordan Love this weekend, as Aaron Rodgers will reportedly be unavailable because of a positive COVID test. This weekend will give the Packers a better chance to evaluate their future with Love, who could be their new franchise QB if Aaron does move on from Green Bay this upcoming offseason. So, Shannon, how will all of this impact Rodgers' future with the Packers?
Well, Skip, I don't think it changes anything right now, because the Packers allowed Aaron Rodgers, knowing that he was unvaccinated, to go about his business as if he was a vaccinated player. So they're complicit in this. It's not like they didn't know, like all of a sudden. They know every player that's vaccinated on their roster. They know every person that's vaccinated within that building, within that organization. They know. So they allowed Aaron Rodgers to do what he was doing, to go about his business as if it was normal. So I don't think it changes anything in the short term. But I've said I felt like this, Skip. What it did do is it give the Packers an advanced look at Jordan Love. Skip, you can say, yeah, practice, he looked good in practice, and yeah, he made some throws. But practice and the game are different. And you've been around guys that you've seen them catch the ball with one hand tied behind their back, and you see guys make plays in practice, and come game time, it's a whole different animal. So now we get an opportunity to see Jordan Love against a team that he's not familiar with. They're not guys that, he walk off the field, hey, man, what you doing tonight? What you got going on?
Yep.
So now he's given them, and the quarterbacks normally try to do everything they possibly can to not let the coaches get an advanced evaluation of a player that's behind them. The last thing I want you to see, Skip, is a guy that could possibly take my position, and he plays well in an actual game.
Yep.
He's allowed this to happen. And so for me, this is what I know about any work, not just professional sports, but any work. They'll tolerate you until they can replace you.
Yep.
So if you're good at something, they'll keep you around. You're in television, the ratings going good. But as soon as they find that next up-and-comer, and they believe he can replace you, all of a sudden, your antics are no longer accepted. And that's what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers.
So I think you just said that karma just bit Aaron Rodgers right in the behind.
Skip, he saw what happened with Brett Favre.
Yep.
They tolerated Brett Favre retiring every offseason, Skip, until what? They could replace it with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
They said, okay, you're retired.
So I think you just said that Aaron just lied his way into a very risky, precarious situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I've been told that they do like Jordan Love, but they're not sure what they have in Jordan Love. And Aaron just opened the COVID door for Jordan Love to get his shot.
Right.
And by the way, if Aaron's in the quarterback room without a mask and he becomes infected, then I wasn't sure how Jordan Love dodged being a close contact.
Right.
But apparently they weren't close enough for a close contact, right?
Yeah, I'll let you tell it.
All
I know is what the Broncos, what had happened to them.
Well, remember that quarterback room?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And they were supposed to be spread out, and they weren't. Because when they got the tapes, they could saw them all huddled together.
So is Green Bay really going to give up all the tapes? I don't know how that works. Remember Spygate? What happened? I don't know.
Well, the tapes didn't make it back to New York.
Okay.
So we're not going to.
Okay, so the point is now Aaron's at some risk for Jordan Love to go to Kansas City.
Right.
It's a big stage game.
Right. And it's not like they got a dominating defense.
They don't have a dominating defense, but you get to match wits and arm with the great Patrick Mahomes, even though he's been struggling and looks more like a caricature to me of himself. But it's actually a pretty sweet spot for Jordan Love to go in there without huge expectations and see what you got. We got to see a little bit in that debacle of an opener
New Orleans.
At Jacksonville. We got to see him late, and he looked okay. I watched him twice in the preseason. He looks okay.
Right.
He's got a nice arm. He can move a little bit.
Right.
Big kid, bright kid. By all the reports, Aaron actually likes him a lot.
Right.
They've clicked pretty well together.
Right.
Well, now he gets his shot, and he may get 2 shots because he might get that second game, which would be Russell Wilson's return game for Seattle at Green Bay the following Sunday. So that could be on the negative side of the ledger. On the positive side for Aaron is, to your point and mine, the Packers, they covered for him. They were complicit because they catered to his wishes to be homeopathic.
Right.
And even though the league's arbiter infectious disease doctor said, no, that doesn't qualify as being vaccinated.
Exactly.
It sounds like the Packers said, well, we'll qualify you internally. We'll let you do whatever you want to do because we're trying to mend our fence with you. We're trying to do everything in our power to make it possible for you to retire as a Green Bay Packer. I told you from the start, all Aaron ever wanted in his life was to retire as a Packer. But he wants to do it on his terms, with his leverage, being the diva that he is, where everybody is falling at his feet to say, what can we do to make you happier? And he got that in the offseason. He was able to maneuver and utilize and manipulate the media into putting the Packers in such a bad situation that they had to do everything short of giving him more money, because they didn't give him more money, but they gave him Randall Cobb and they gave him this guy and that guy. And he knows full well he's got the best receiver in pro football, and he's got a pretty good offensive line, and I think he's got the best dual threat running back.
Yeah, he has the best receiver in football. But I tell you what, you ask him off the record, he'll tell you I made that receiver. That's how he thinks.
But he has to know in his heart of hearts, in his deep subconscious, that guy's really good.
Skip, the man thought he could host Jeopardy with no TV experience. So what did that tell you about it?
He still thought he could do it as a second job while playing quarterback for the Packers.
So he has a very, and he should, because he's a tremendous football talent, but he has a very high perception of himself in all matters.
But now he has to feel a little bit like, well, I now owe them, because they stood behind me on this thing all the way until I actually got COVID and got exposed, right?
You can say what you will of May about Tom Brady. But one of the things that makes Tom Brady a great leader, I think with any leader, you can never ask more than you're willing to give. Tom Brady asks his guys to do certain things because you know damn well Tom Brady's doing those same things. Be it sleeping, eating, training. Tom Brady asked all his guys to go get the shot. You know why? Because Tom Brady went and got the shot.
He did. He actually got
Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers asked things that he can't do for himself. But he asked that of his teammates. Oh, but you know what? I'm not going to hold that against him because you're right in the boat. Why would you hold it against him?
Good point.
That sometimes, Skip, it's a really, when you're a great player, and great player doesn't necessarily mean great leader. Great leader doesn't necessarily mean great player. But when you combine those two things, it's really the subtleties. It's really it's sometimes it's the fine print. And Tom Brady doesn't have, if he is athletic, can he throw the back? No, Skip. But it's little things like that you can't write, Skip, you can't write it down and say, okay, measurable. Okay, he's 6'4", he's 230, he runs this, he can jump that, he has big hands. Some of the things, Tom Brady's greatest attributes never come up on a stat sheet.
I would agree.
Well, since we are speaking of Tom Brady's leadership, how impressive has Skip Skybridge
been? Back to our normal schedule program.
Half of the NFL season. I heard you give him some love, Shannon. That's coming up right after the break. And whenever he says anything about the Cowboys, we listen. Shannon, is the Cowboys defense being underrated here?
No, they're getting their proper credit.
They are?
They are.
From whom?
First of all, they're not the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens. Look at, this season, they're 16th in scoring, 19th in yards. Last year, they were 28th in scoring and 23rd in yards. So they've improved, but they're middle of the pack. Damn, Troy's talking about their top five. Where are they top five in takeaways? Okay. But they're 16th in scoring. Is that good, Skip? No.
In points allowed.
In points allowed, He has no scoring defense. Is that good? No. That means they're middle of the pack. They're 19th in yards, which is slightly below middle of the pack. So I'm confused. Look, teams normally, wherever the money is invested, that's the best side of the ball. That's the dominant side. Offense, they're big money players, all offense. Wide receiver, guard, quarterback, running back, left tackle, right tackle. That's where your money is, Skip. So obviously, you would think that side would be the best. That's normally how it works. The Rams. Now, the Rams is a very unique situation because they got a lot of money invested on defense. They don't really have no big ticket, no top five receiver paid, top five offensive lineman paid. I don't think Matthew Stafford probably ain't even top 10 in quarterback paid. But the offense leads this team. So, but I'm confused with Troy. I mean, they've beaten the Panthers, they've beaten the Eagles, they've beaten the Giants, they've beaten the Patriots. Now, which one of those offenses that we think is murderer's row? None. They got one quality. They got really what we look at, one quality win. They beat the Chargers. But the Panthers are bottom, Eagles are bottom. We just saw the Giants Monday night. And you're gonna you want the Cowboys to get credit for beating the Giants. Why?
At New England? Have they not taken shape and taken flight on defense, especially?
They beat the Jets 54, and they beat the Chargers. Okay.
They did. That was impressive.
Yeah, but Skip, I'm impressive. So when we look at them, are we looking at them like the Steelers? So we saying they got the Buffalo, they got the Steelers type of defense?